Hi everyone, my name is Becca Anderson and I'm a solutions consultant at Appian. And today we'll start building out the process for onboarding a new employee. We'll start by opening up the new employee onboarding process model that Appian generated for us last time in the Appian Process Modeler. The Appian Process Modeler is the low-code space where you can design, modify, and run workflows in Appian. On the left, we have a palette of activities which can be dragged and dropped onto the canvas in the middle. We have a lot of different tools that we can use to edit or annotate the process, and this is a great space for your business analysts to collaborate with developers to mock up processes and then configure them to be able to execute successfully. Now, we're starting with a strong functional baseline of the process that Appian generated for us, but let's add some flair and some additional activities for both the system to automate for us and also some tasks for users. To stay organized, we'll add some swim lanes. The process modeler is based on BPMN, or Business Process Model Notation. So if you've used a business process modeling tool, you'll be familiar with the shape of the nodes and the swim lane organization. I'll add up to 3 swim lanes for now, as we'll have some work that's owned by the system, some work that's going to be completed by HR, and some work that's going to be completed by the employee. Next, we'll drag some tasks down into the main pane, and we'll be able to configure each using point and click. Drag and drop them onto the workflow and they automatically get connected, and we can design the workflow from here. So for example, I can add user input tasks, which are going to be tasks for people to do different work, as well as script tasks or ways that Appian can manipulate data. And then I can also search in my library to find different kinds of smart services like integrations that will allow the system to send my data to wherever it resides. I can make changes easily with drag and drop, add all the nodes that I need, and then connect this back to the end node. To configure some of the nodes, all we have to do is double click on them and we'll be able to go through each menu page to fully configure. So for example, this user input task, here we can select the form that will be shown to the user who's completing the task. We'll use our prefix EMP, pull in that review employee form. Appian can automatically create the different variables for the data that we want to pass from the form back into the workflow so that that data is already mapped for us. Over in the assignment pane, we can also give this a group to complete the task, as work is going to be assigned either by groups or individually in Appian. So we'll select our HR team here. We can also add escalations. So if this task needs to notify a manager or elevate the priority after a certain time frame, or exceptions, let's say that after 24 hours, we want the process to cancel or certain activities to take place, we can configure all of that right here. Lastly, can't forget the data. This is where we're capturing the data that we pass into the form and then back out. So here we can capture if it was approved or not, right by creating a new process variable, which then Appian will use to, pass into gateways further on in the process. The system can also manipulate the data as needed or send it to a database using a smart service or an integration. All right, once we're ready to test this process model, we can run it for debugging right from here in the same process modeler object in Appian. And when we're ready, we can of course deploy it to a higher instance. That's all for today. Thanks for tuning in. Check the description below for additional viewing suggestions, and of course subscribe to our channel to get notified for new updates. Thanks.